New at 5 tonight, a historic property in South Carolina, once owned by P.T. Barnum, is up for sale for the steep price of $17.5 million. We went on an extensive tour of the 736-acre estate and found out its story goes much deeper. It's not often that the owner of a high-dollar listing wants people to know their name, let alone will take you on a tour of their property. But this tract of land is no ordinary estate. It's steeped in history, most of it good, some of it not so much. Larry Falconberry has spent much of his life learning and sharing its story.
This is the most historical tract of land in central South Carolina, and nobody knows it.
Now known as the Goodwill Estate, this property has been owned by big names in U.S. history and entertainment. Falconberry often jokes as timber dealers, they're the least notable ones.
We tell people from 1750 to 1994 the rich and famous had it. In 1994 the poor folk got it.
In 1750, Daniel Huger, a member of the First Continental Congress, owned it before selling it to the Heyward family. Thomas Heyward was a signer of the Declaration of Independence.
And then in 1888, P.T. Barnum bought this property and gave it to his daughter as a wedding gift.
Barnum owned and lived on the property for decades and even left behind artifacts.
Now Morgan, I really appreciate this.
Like this mallet that was used for pounding tent stakes into the ground and other evidence of his time here on the property.
That's the P.T. Barnum wire, and you can find it all through the woods here where they built that fence for him to house his animals here.
Much of the Goodwill Estate's history was forgotten when the McMaster family, ancestors to South Carolina's current governor, purchased it in 1910. It was used as an upscale hunting club for the elite of Columbia. The nearly 1,800 square foot, two-story lakefront hunting lodge has been maintained to this day.
And here's the historical markers up here.
Multiple other structures on the property are on the National Register of Historic Places. Duncan Clinch Heyward, the 88th governor of South Carolina, was born in this home that has become a private museum of antiques and pieces of historical significance.
This is the power source for the grist mill.
An original water wheel still operates the grist mill, where workers ground grain, sharpened tools, and made shingles and cotton.
If you were a cotton farmer anywhere in this area, you had to bring your cotton to Goodwill.
The sprawling estate borders 3,200 acres of preservation land Falconberry once owned. The nearby watery river provided boat access to Charleston. 2 slave cabins remain on the property. This picture of Bessie Anderson on the day she and other slaves were told they were free is Falconberry's favorite story to tell.
Her great-great-great-grandchildren live in this area today. And when I got this, I had some copies made of this, and I gave it to each one of them.
In the early 2000s, Falconberry and his wife Jerry built 2 primary homes with panoramic views of the Goodwill Lake. His neighbor is a good friend of theirs. The meticulously maintained homes have pine floors made of wood harvested on the property. They not only have that Charleston look, but the Charleston feel. All of it is maintained by the Falconberrys and a few friends.
And the older you get, the harder it is.
The couple plans to travel more once they find a buyer for their estate and continue their work supporting a local children's home. They will miss living here, but they're hoping the next buyer will appreciate Goodwill's history just as much as they have.
We're just hoping that the right person or right people see Goodwill as we do, because it's a unique piece of property.
All artifacts, furniture, and fixtures come with the property. The real shame is that the Falconberrys won't be the neighbors. That listing price, again, $17.5 million.